right, so Padres predictions.
Let's do bombs.
Home runs.
Yep. Stakes.
RBI.
Yep. MVP. And overachiever.
All right, I like those. No pitching stats. I mean, I guess the MVP
home
could
runs,
be the pitcher,
RBI, MVP, and overachiever.
Bombs, stakes, MVP, overachiever.
Overachiever meaning
strikeout leader.
Somebody that plays above what you would say their average is.
Yep.
Yeah, the guy who kind of
surprises
in a positive way.
Your breakout guy. We got.
To be fair, that could be one of the four super like
Soto,
yeah, right.
Like,
yeah. Whatever you have expectation wise for Soto, Machado, Tatis, Bogarts, like they go above and beyond that. Okay.
Yep.
All right. The home run leader for me, my prediction is Fernando Tatis Jr.
Wow.
He has to overcome 20 games missed, but what is he going to be? 4 or 5 behind when he starts that race. I feel like he's going to catch up fairly quickly. He'll have a good 3 or 4 days, and all of a sudden you'll say, "Oh, how did Fernando Tatis Jr. become the Padres home run leader all of a sudden?" I think I saw enough in spring training to know that easy power that he has is still in there, and he's going to hit, even close to 40 bombs, even without only 135 or 140 games played this season.
Okay, Ben is taking Tatis for his bombs leader. I'm going to go with my guy Manny Machado. Is going to crack. He's going to hit 33 home runs. That's going to lead the team this year with Machado. Paulie, who do you got?
I was leaning Machado, but for the sake of this discussion, I will happily take Juan Soto.
Yeah, not a bad fallback.
I'll go
option.
38 home runs
38.
for Juan Soto.
Oh God, that'd make me happy. All right, I'm writing it down. You said 4. What did you say? 40?
I'm going to go 39.
39. Okay, and I took 33 for Manuel, and Paulie took 38 for Juan Soto. All right, RBI. This will be interesting.
So it'll depend a lot on how
Who's
Bob
in where?
Melvin ends up constructing his lineup, but I feel like in the end it's going to be Manny Machado who's the RBI leader for the Padres.
And how many?
I'm going to say 114.
114. All right, I'm going to you go, Paulie.
I got to ride with Manny as well.
Okay.
I'll say 108.
108, and I'm going to go with Juan Soto.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Juan Soto driving in.
I think I leaned away from him just because I feel like he's going to be batting second a lot, but that doesn't mean he's not going to drive in a ton of runs. Guys getting on at the bottom of the order.
Like Machado,
I'm going to go with
Tatis getting on in front of him.
119 stakes for that young man. MVP of the team.
I think Juan Soto is going to be my MVP of the team this year. I think he's going to bounce back from what was a down season for him and show us who the real Juan Soto is this year. And the real Juan Soto isn't just the MVP of a team, but he's kind of the MVP of an entire league.
I actually picked him on Fox 5 this morning to win the MVP this season, so I have to ride with number 22.
It's weird. I'll go with Manny then,
right.
But it's weird because I do think putting money on it, I would say Juan Soto has the highest chances of winning league MVP.
He does actually of the crew.
Right.
Manny Machado could be the team MVP
right.
while Juan Soto is the league MVP at the same time. Does that make any sense?
I don't think the numbers are going to be so far off from each other. Like they're both going to put up huge years.
Yep.
And I think they'll be comparable statistic wise. Factor in the defense, the fact that he's the GD captain.
Yep.
I'm riding with Manny Machado.
All right. So 2 Sotos and a Manny. The overachiever on the team. I'll go first on this one. I think this young man is going to have a monster season. And his name's Jake Cronenworth. I think he's going to be. They talk about a rebound from last year. Soto will also have a massive rebound from last year. I think Croney.
We already have high expectations for Juan Soto.
Yep. I think Cronenworth's going to have a monster season. I'm not just saying that to make sex with my wife later at the hotel.
Let's see. I think a lot of people will say
that is weird.
Trent Grisham after seeing some bombs this spring and knowing that he's got that potential in him. But I am going to say Ha-Sung Kim is my overachiever, and it's going to be hard. He had a really good season last year, but I think he's going to add a little more pop driving the ball. We may see Ha-Sung Kim who hits more in the high 200s, gets maybe to 15, 20 home runs and becomes more of an offensive force to go with what is already one of the best defensive players in all of baseball.
Paulie?
I don't think we said pitchers are not
They're
eligible for
yeah.
this. I'm going to go with Blake Snell.
Oh my God, I love that pick.
Love that Blake Snell. I think it feels like he is much more locked in, ready to go from the start of the season. We know what he is capable of doing when he is locked in. Dirtiest pitcher in baseball.
I saw, I think it was The Athletic did their kind of previews of the season, and they said, what's like one wild prediction for each team? And I believe it was Blake Snell, turns things around and gets off to a hot start and starts the All-Star game in Seattle, Washington.
Yes.
This summer for the National League.
I mean, what would I haven't looked at all the projections. What would you say the average estimate of how Blake Snell's season goes? Like maybe 13-8.
Yeah,
somewhere
13-9.
Somewhere like that, right?
Yeah.
But what if I told you he wins 20 games this year? Would that shock you at all?
No, God, he's got the stuff for
it.
Right.
I would be shocked
overachiever.
if he won 20 games. I would, just because we know Blake.
It's the
tends to have those 5 or 6 inning starts, which leaves some wiggle room at the end for wins that were wins to not turn into wins.
I guess what I mean is that type of a season.
That type
right?
of season, yeah.
No,
I lined for 20.
17 wins with a freaking sub-3 ERA.
Let me throw in then one more category. Padres Cy Young. The best pitcher on the Padres this season, starter or reliever, you can pick as the guy who you think will basically be the MVP of the arms for the Padres this season.
There's going to be so many unsung heroes. So many. I mean, I think Nabil's going to be an unsung hero for the Padres this year. I do, especially early in the season. I think Seth Lugo is going to be a bit of an unsung hero. I really like what I've seen out of him.
Robert Suarez is going to have a ton of huge holds in the 8th inning.
When he gets back, I just hope he gets back super healthy. Hader, I think, is going to be locked in. I'll go with man. I'm gonna lean on you, Darvish. I really am. I just trust him so much and believe and saw so much out of him last year. The absolute heart of a champion every time that guy took the ball.
He's missing one start in April.
It's the end of the world, everybody, because he's not quite built up for 7 innings yet.
I am going to say Joe Musgrove.
Yep.
And while, yes, he's going to miss a start, maybe a turn through the rotation, and you're not entirely sure how that toe injury is going to impact him, to see the kind of work that he continues to put in. A lot of guys coming off the season, the big contract, you don't have to push yourself as hard as Joe does, but the fact that he is continuing to build off of what he did last year, I feel like Joe Musgrove is just not, he doesn't give away starts. He goes out there. They're not all the best in the world, but he is always competing. Every single out is important to him. And that kind of mentality, I think, is going to carry him a long way this season. He's the guy I think, if anyone's going to win 20 for the Padres, might be Joe Musgrove.
Wow, that's bold prediction, my friend. I like it, though. I like where your head's at. No one mentioned Trent Grisham at all, but I do think Trent is going to have a bounce back year because he hit the bottom last year and came on late in spring training. He's a very, very pissed off guy, I think, at this point. Not in a bad way, just kind of like I got something to prove. And I love that. And in that lineup, probably in the 8 or 9 hole. Jeez, dude.
I mean, could have picked Matt Carpenter, could have picked Nelly Cruz, could have picked Austin Nola. Got a lot of candidates.
Look at Nelly Cruz.
Got a lot of candidates.